Hey guys, Gary from Midwest Mike's here. Are you looking for a DJ for your next event? Well, call DJ Showtime, 816-260-2056. He can DJ your wedding, a special event, a bar and club event. Whether your event's large or small, DJ Showtime is your guy. He'll play music of all genres, whatever you guys want to hear, that's what he'll play. He's been DJing since 2005, lots of experience. Again, that phone number is 816-260-2056 at DJ Showtime KC34 on Twitter, DJ Showtime 3481 on Snapchat. And remember, this is Gary from Midwest Mike's. Tell him that I sent you. Contact DJ Showtime, 816-260-2056. All right, I'm Gary.
This is Austin.
And we are Midwest Mike's coming back at you with an audio podcast this week. Had some technical difficulties on UClick TV, so no video this week, just audio. And you're just getting the two of us, no guest. So here we go.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it like old school this time.
Yeah, kicking it old school. We did take a week off last week, and so we didn't want to go 2 weeks without a show. We know our loyal listeners, want content, so we wanted to put some content out for you this week. It might be kind of a shorter show than you're normally used to, and like I said, no video this week, but we are going to get some content for our loyal listeners, and we appreciate you guys.
That's right, and we got a pretty cool subject this week. We're going to talk about the Chris Sims came out with a top 40 quarterback list, and we're just kind of debate and kind of talk about it. As you're listening, if you want to look it up, probably just go to Chris Sims' Twitter or whatever, or just Google Chris Sims top 40 quarterback list. So this list is top 40 quarterbacks going into this year. It's not ranking quarterbacks all time. So, obviously, like, Tom Brady's not number one because we know at this point in Tom Brady's career, super clutch, but not, like, super flashy, not like 500 yards or anything like that. Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not going to be that guy that's going to make all the throws, but he's going to make enough throws that he needs to win the game, and he's not going to turn the ball over and those type of things.
Yeah.
So, yes, Tom Brady is not number one.
Yeah, Tom Brady switched up his play to go with his age. Which is actually incredible, considering that's something that I kind of felt like, Peyton Manning did win a Super Bowl last year, but he was not very good.
No, I mean we've talked about that before. That Peyton Manning was definitely on the downside of his career.
Yeah,
and got some help. He had a really good defense.
Number one defense,
and he also just made he knew where to throw the ball, pre-snap read, based on the coverage, because he was that smart. He was that cerebral.
Yeah, so he kind of, taking that back, he kind of did do what Tom Brady did, but just not as well. Tom Brady's release is really good, and Tom Brady still ranks pretty good on this list. I think it's pretty accurate. So let's just go with, we'll start at the top.
Yeah, we'll start at the top. Number one, again, this is Chris Sims' top 40 QB countdown going into this year. Number one, he has Aaron Rodgers, and number two, he has Patrick Mahomes. And this is really the first thing I see wrong with the list is I'm going with Mahomes over Rodgers this year, going into the year.
This year.
Now, I get it. There is an argument to be made. Aaron Rodgers has a longer body of work from, his previous years playing in the NFL. And he has been doing it at a high level for a long time. Patrick Mahomes has one extraordinary year of a 50-touchdown year. And, he's not going to throw for 50 touchdowns every year, and I understand that. But if you're giving me – if I can take any quarterback in the NFL right now to start, one game to win it, I think I'm going with the youth, and I'm going with Patrick Mahomes.
One thing that can be kind of tough is you don't want to be too much of a homer.
Yeah.
Even though being a homer is really fun, and you want to root for your own team. So while I can feel like a homer pick, I think even a lot of the players around the league would agree that Mahomes probably is the best quarterback in the league. Like I said, 50 touchdowns last year, only 12 interceptions. When everyone was saying probably the interceptions was going to be one of his downfalls.
But I was one of those people that was saying, back up off the Mahomes train. And it proved me wrong.
Yeah, and the deal is, too, with Andy Reid and some of the offensive coaches are on the Chiefs staff have done a really good job with him helping out his accuracy and stuff like that. One stat I saw somebody bring up a stat about Mahomes throwing into tight coverage, which he doesn't do very often. They explain tight coverage is when you throw to a receiver and the coverage is less than a yard away from the receiver.
From the receiver,
that's technically tight coverage, right? And so Mahomes actually clapped back at that guy on Twitter and said, "Oh, so I guess I throw to open receivers." And he was like, "Yeah." Mahomes makes correct reads most of the time. One of the things we've talked about before was the playoff loss to the Tennessee Titans where Alex Smith, I think Arrowhead Pride broke it down. Alex Smith goofed up on his RPOs, almost all of them, making incorrect reads, which the deal is Smith, he just didn't make it right. And so you bring a guy like Mahomes who's probably run RPO his whole freaking life, and he comes in and just does more of that stuff. And Andy Reid's done a really good job adapting the offense to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and I think that's something Andy Reid has always done with his quarterbacks is, making, even though he's a West Coast offense guy, he does adapt his offense to their strengths.
Right.
I mean, he did it in Philly with Donovan McNabb for a long time.
Yep.
And, he did it in Philly when he had Michael Vick.
Yeah,
He
really
adapted the offense to Michael Vick's strengths. So that's a credit to Andy Reid, but it's also a credit to Patrick Mahomes spending the time in the film room.
Yep.
And with Andy Reid and with the offensive coaching staff, the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, hey, what do you guys want me reading here? Which guys should I be looking at? And doing those things and putting in that time. So, just not to spend all night on it, but to talk about, I'm going with Mahomes 1 and Rodgers 2. I mean, and I'm not knocking Aaron Rodgers at all. I mean, he's not a terrible quarterback. I'm not like, oh, man, you're way off. Because I totally get the argument why Rodgers could be number 1 on your list.
Yeah, you know what? He's actually my number 1 last year. When we talked about quarterbacks, he was my number 1 going into last year. And so, if anybody says, hey, Rodgers, I really think Rodgers number 1, Mahomes 2, sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
really,
an argument to be made.
It's super
Tweet us at Midwest Mikes and let us know what you think.
Yeah, Packers. I mean, if I was a Packers fan, a total homer, I would say Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. Honestly,
Dak Prescott, baby.
Yeah, Gary's going Dak. Which, we'll talk about that where Dak's at. So going down, another one that we actually disagree on is 3 and 4.
Yeah.
3 is Russell Wilson. 4 is Andrew Luck. You said you would flip that. Do you have Wilson at 4 though?
I would probably still keep Wilson in my top 5. Just he did win a Super Bowl. I guess the reason I have him over Luck, and maybe it's not right for me to think this way, but the throw in the Super Bowl, he missed on the slant. He missed on the slant down and in. Everybody knows if you're going to miss on a slant, it's got to be high and away. It can't be down and in because that gives the defensive back a chance to make the play. So you gotta be able to make that throw, and if you are going to throw it, it's got to not be picked off. You can't throw it where the defense has a chance.
One reason that, and I actually agree with that assessment on him making that throw. One thing I would disagree with is we're talking about going into this year, and I think Russell Wilson actually played pretty lights out last year. I saw him make some really good throws when they played Kansas City, and he put a little beating on it. Not even put a beating on us, but he made some nice throws to beat us. I really feel after Marshawn left that team and the Legion of Boom is kind of going away from the Seahawks, Russell Wilson's kind of taken over, and he is the guy in Seattle, right?
Yeah, he is.
Now he's got the big contract, and the cool thing about Russell Wilson is you give a guy like that the big contract, work ethic's not changing. He's going to stay the same guy. So one thing I would say on Luck is I saw Luck play Kansas City last year, and we've talked about before when we did predictions on that game. Dome teams, right? Dome teams
don't play well in the cold.
And Luck actually his record sub 32 was pretty bad. Sub 32 at kickoff. I think it warmed up a little bit, but the Chiefs defense actually looked pretty good against him, which was not a common trend last year for sure. Then Mahomes, of course, put the ice on him and really kind of. The Chiefs did really well in that game.
So, I would put Luck above Wilson. Last year Luck was coming back off the injury. I think he proved kind of down the stretch that he was healthy and he could still make all the throws that he needs to make. So I would flip those two again. It's not like I'm dropping Wilson, way down or out of the top 5 or even out of the top 10. I'm just flipping him. I'm moving him to 4 and, putting Luck at 3.
Yeah, well, another thing about Andrew Luck is when you think about the future of the NFL and the future of the AFC, it may end up coming down to we might have a lot of Luck versus Mahomes battles.
I mean, it could be the new Brady Manning.
Yeah, and one guy we'll talk about that's ranked 5 on the list. People talk about Watson also, right?
Yep. I mean, Watson is another young quarterback.
Totally dynamic.
Again, came back off an injury.
Playmaker.
And, he can make some plays with his legs that some of these other guys cannot.
Right.
Rodgers obviously is not a scrambler. He's he can buy time in the pocket.
Yeah, and he got a little bit. He can run a little bit and kind of
Yeah, but he's not that explosive runner. Mahomes has a little bit of that in him.
Right.
That explosive running.
Yeah.
And I think that, with Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes, in the NCAA Division I football, and it's trickling down, they're going to more of that mobile guy that can make the throws also.
Yeah.
And so you got to have that aspect to your game.
Yeah, it's kind of changed a little bit where we would see a lot of we'd see these quarterbacks that could run, but not necessarily super accurate passers. We talked about Michael Vick. Michael Vick could make awesome throws.
He was probably the exception there.
Not ultra accurate. And some of these other guys, Manziel, really, really good with the wheels, but accuracy, something else. A lot of times these college guys that are running some of these systems, Oklahoma, stuff like that, these are quarterbacks that really throw first, but they got wheels. They got wheels on them. So Deshaun Watson's another guy that could probably be in that little conversation with Luck and Mahomes as far as the future of the NFL.
Yeah, we'll kind of, breeze through kind of these next few. Ben Roethlisberger's at 6, Matt Ryan at 7, Cam Newton at 8, Tom Brady at 9, and then the next one that sticks out to me is Drew Brees. I would move Drew Brees up that list and probably bump him to 6 if this was my list.
Take Breezy over this year over Roethlisberger?
Yeah, I would take him over Roethlisberger, Ryan, Newton, and Brady.
So I'll take Big Ben over. I hate saying that, but we'll find out more this year about Big Ben too. Without AB, he's got Juju.
Yeah,
and
I think he'll be fine. A
lot of these guys that are talking about the Steelers busting out or blah blah blah. I think that really they got rid of their 2 guys that were kind of causing them problems.
I think they'll be fine.
And they'll be fine. Don't be surprised. I mean, a lot of people are high on Cleveland. Don't be surprised if Pittsburgh wins the division.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into this more later, but I think Cleveland's still a year away from winning that division. Or contending for that division.
Yeah. Now, if they do it this year, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I would be shocked if they did win it this year. But I really feel like they're a year away.
Yeah. We're talking about Cam Newton. I would definitely move him down.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Cam Newton guy.
No, I'm not either. I think he had one extraordinary year that was a blip on the radar. Got his team to a Super Bowl. Excuse me. But I'm not a high on Cam Newton.
Yeah, Cam Newton got his team to the Super Bowl and then got smashed by that Denver defense. I mean, not like, oh, wow, okay.
That Denver defense was really good.
Yeah, that was actually that Denver defense that year is probably one of the better ones we've seen in the last probably 6 or 7 years, right? Yeah. I mean, really.
Yeah, and I mean, Tom Brady, number 9 on this list, I'd move him back to 10 just, because like I said, I'm bumping Breeze up. And we both agree Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's the best to ever do it.
Yeah, he is.
At that position.
Yep.
But at this point in his career, I mean, we know Father Time is going to hit him.
At some point.
Is it going to be this year?
At some point.
I don't know.
There was a lot of people. He had a stretch last year that was kind of rough.
Yeah.
And people were kind of saying, like, uh-oh, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
He switched up something, and I think that more of their game plan switched up to running the ball with Michelle a little more.
Yep.
Which they locked him up to. I think they locked him up on a little deal, which is good. So Patriots basically what they do, and Brady actually himself adapts, right?
Yeah.
And Brady really claims that he could probably play another 3 years, and I believe him.
Yeah,
because
I do too.
I mean, what he'll do is, I bet by the end of Brady's career, you'll see him He'll throw for 210 yards, super accurate,
Yep.
and then 1 or 2 touchdowns a game.
I mean,
the
a
rest
lot
will be
like
defense.
Peyton Manning. A lot like Peyton Manning those last couple of years. He's so cerebral, and he's been doing it so long.
Yeah.
He can recognize the coverage. It's hard to disguise a coverage